Hi, I'm Dawn and this is where Shabby Meets Bling. I'm really excited about today's projects because they focus on the outside, outdoors, outdoor entertaining and barbecuing. And so after being stuck in the house all winter long here in the Midwest, I know all of us are dying to get outside and do some entertaining. So today's projects start with these items.
This vintage stool, one of these foam coolers, some peel and stick wallpaper sheets, and some fun summery napkins. But first, I'd like to thank Lisa from Our Gray House and Sarah from Jujubee DIY for hosting, and Marla from the Chic Show DIY for guest hosting this month's First Friday Open Challenge. Take a good look at this antique stool. She is in really bad condition. And instead of replacing the back and replacing the seat and just letting it be a stool, I decided that I am going to try to fit a cooler into this cavity and make this little guy a cooler. So let's see what happens. So I picked up all three of these coolers for $1 each at a resale shop. And I figured with the size of that cavity in my stool, this one is the winner. First thing I need to do is to even see if this harebrained scheme is even gonna work. So I need to measure and know where I need to trim all of my sides to get it to go up inside that angled cavity way to the tip top, right underneath the stool seat. This whole plan hinges on if I can get enough trimmed off the outside to get it to fit in there without impeding the inner part of the cooler. If I can do it without poking a hole right through the inside. So a long time ago, I had a friend of mine that has made comments on YouTube, and her name is Kelly Hawk, and she says, Dawn, you have to get an electric knife if you're going to play with styrofoam. That's basically what she said. So I picked one up and I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a try. So here we go. It's pretty amazing. It really is. And I'm guessing the different density of styrofoam will give you a different effect, shall I say, in the smoothness of the cutting and whatnot. Because this is such a soft styrofoam, this turned into basically like marshmallow right before my eyes. But it was pretty slick. So I have to say I will definitely be using it in some applications. I continue to trim until I think I get the basic shape I want and give it a quick sanding. And now we're gonna give it a little test fit. See if this is even gonna be feasible. And I feel it is. It's working its way up there, so we'll keep at it. Now that we know this little project should work, let's start with disassembling the stool itself. That broken seat needs to come off. It needs to come off, and it's all old hardware, so old screws that are way deep inside, so we're gonna have to bust out some tools. Power tools. My good old Dremel. We're gonna have to grind the ends of these screw heads off. They are in there deep, they are rusted, and they've got to go. Between the Dremel, my hammer, and that straight head screwdriver, it made pretty quick work of taking that seat off. And then we need to address that stool back. It is in bad shape. So my plan here is to just take off the outer layers of laminate and leave the inner layers. And we'll see if this works out. I feel it will. And I'm just gonna peel away at all the external layers of laminate that are cracked and broken. It really came off pretty easy. And the only difficult part was cleaning up around the actual rivets to try to get so there weren't any slivers or little pieces of wood poking out still. We're looking for a clean slate. So back to our misshapen cooler. There are certain parts that need to come off, and I am using an extraordinarily sharp knife. Please be careful. I have cut myself with this thing. It is wicked, and in a circumstance like this, I could not use my little electric knife. I needed to be real specific and real precise and shave here and there very carefully. Now that we have our shape exactly as we need it, we're going to give it a really, really good sanding, and I am using the electric sander to make sure I get things nice and smooth so that it fits up in there just perfect for the next step. Let's take it and test it again. Let's see how close we are. Well, I think it was a success. Yay! Look, no holes. And where there was a little bit of cracking in the back, I glued and clamped it. So we're ready to make this thing pretty now. Let's make it pretty. So here I have some scrap tile, and this is what we're going to put around our cooler. So step one with these tiles is to create basically a template, and I am tracing the inside and outside for my template, and we're just going to practice with one. Whether or not this works, I do not know. I do have metal tin as a backup. I just have to cut each and every one out, and we'll give them a try. It is working, and I just have to keep in mind that each one needs to be a little bit smaller than the last because they will touch on the interior. Plus, I have to keep in mind I've got that cooler that needs to fit up inside there as well. This lovely resale find, 50 cents, people. And this Lazy Susan, little mini Lazy Susan, also resale, of course, are going to come into play right now. I'm going to disassemble the frame and make it be the same size as the back of our stool. I cut my 45s, both of them. And then I just need to reassemble. As I go to reassemble, I need the longer piece to be the top of the picture frame again. So I have to pull it apart and glue, wood glue of course, and pin it back in place and secure all four sides. I'm keeping that metal insert as well because I'm going to use it as a chalkboard and a magnetic board for the back of our cooler. I even kept the scraps of the frame and wood glued them together and pinned them for another part of this lovely little flip. And now it's time to paint. And here you can see where that Lazy Susan ended up. It's now the new seat. Same blue on the wood parts of the chair that were used on the tin tile.
My cooler's finished and it works. Yay, it works. But first, before I can show you, I'm gonna add a couple more pretty little things to it. And I'm gonna finish a couple little projects that I'll be using the peel and stick wallpaper and those pretty little summer napkins for. And let's do that right now.
This little additional project is just something fun that even the kids can do. So much fun. I'm using a removable peel and stick wallpaper panel. I picked these up at the dollar store, and we're gonna turn them into custom placemats. I'm simply using some of those wood pile wood cutouts, letters and shapes, and a couple of cardboard shapes to create a design. And put on here whatever you want. You could put people's names on here so they know where to sit. You know, use them as place card settings as well, but they're wipeable, easy, fun, and custom. I've chosen some Sharpie colors that will kind of coordinate with what I've got going on outside, and that's what I'm rolling with. So once again, super custom. This was really fun. I hope you try this at home.
My projects are complete, so let's go outside and take a look.
Just yesterday, I found this cool little medallion at a resale shop, so I thought I'd incorporate it into my current project. So this is where we started, and here we are now. Totally redone into a funky little cooler. I'm gonna eventually put wheels on it too. Here's the backside. Enough room for a towel bar and a bottle opener and a little cute metal cone to hold whatever you need it to. And we have our chalkboard on the front, and there's that metal medallion. I added it to the stool. You can take it off and still sit there if you want, but look how pretty it looks. There she is. Totally done. Super stoked. What fun. Different and fun. And what do I have stocked inside? Our favorite beer from our favorite brewery. It is a small town, but now she's spirit water. I'll leave the link in the description below. There's our cute little napkins and our custom placemats. All ready for a nice cookout. As you can see, we'll be eating in old pie pans versus paper plates. And we are ready to entertain. So exciting. And I would like to thank Lisa of Our Grey House, Sarah from Jujubee DIY for hosting, and yes, Marla of The Chic Show DIY for guest hosting this First Friday challenge. The links to their channels, as well as the link for this wonderful playlist, will be in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Share it with your family and friends. You can follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Etsy. I now have a shop. Don't forget to support the channel by subscribing and ring that bell for notifications of all of my upcoming videos as they're released. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.